Hello and welcome to another episode of Prop 5 on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. My name is Eric Wiedeke. You can follow me on X/Twitter at Eric Wiedeke. Going solo today here, but there's still a lot to talk about with this Major League Baseball board today. You've got Marlins, Brewers, you've got Dodgers, Red Sox, a lot of really big series on this matinee Sunday for Major League Baseball, and I've got some picks that I really like today. Before we get any further, I do just want to encourage you guys to use promo code 5. That's going to be FIVE for $50 in bonus funds on your first lineup of $5 or more. That's promo code FIVE on Prize Picks. All right, so we're going to get into it right away here. And my first pick today is going to be kind of a package deal. I'm going to be looking at two guys in particular on this one. I'm going to be looking at number one, if I'm going with batters, I'm going to go with hits, runs, and RBIs. And I'm looking at a guy in the B. Where'd he go? It's going to be Ezekiel Tovar on his hits, runs, and RBIs. I did get it at 1.5 here. Look at you got the Goblin, and I guess there's no in between right now. The Goblin at 0.5 or the Demon at 4.5. But the reason why I like Tovar as much as I do today, and I have him in my lineup, is because of this next guy, and it's going to go with hand in hand with the pitcher fantasy score. I am all aboard fading Tomoyuki Sugano. He's not gone over this number in 4 out of the last 5 ball games. And if you go back over his last 11 starts, he's averaging a batting average against of 319. Just a really, really rough stretch for Tomoyuki Sugano, facing off a pretty decent Rockies lineup, and they were just embarrassed last night, 18-0, so I do think that they will be bouncing back in this one here. My next pick is actually going to go hand in hand with this comment right over here. Marlins surging, facing the previous hottest team in baseball, as that title's been taken from them by the aforementioned Miami Marlins. And it's going to be Yuri Perez on the mound today here. I'm going to go with his strikeouts, and I like the number at over 5. This is a number that he's been going over pretty regularly of late. Perez has really found his stride since coming back from Tommy John surgery, and I expect that to continue tonight against the Milwaukee Brewers. And for my next pick here, I'm going to go with a pitcher. I'm going to go with the over on the fantasy score, and it's going to be over on fantasy score for one rookie, and it's going to be Noah Cameron at over 30.5 on his fantasy score. This is a guy that, rookies typically don't have the longest leash in the world, but this is a guy here that averages nearly 6 innings per outing. Less than 2 earned runs, so he's averaging pretty much a quality start and outing. And if he gives you that kind of production again against the Guardians lineup, that's so. I think he absolutely goes over this number at 30.5. He's been fantastic, facing some really stiff competition over the last few weeks, and pitching well through that. And then my final pick today is going to be, this would not be complete without mentioning one Shohei Ohtani. His fantasy score is a massive 9.5. Where is Ohtani? If I could find him, he's going to be under the popular anyway, so let's look there. Yep, it's going to be Shohei Ohtani, 9.5 on the fantasy score. Not only is Ohtani red hot right now, but he's also facing off against Walker Buehler, who's kind of just been a shell of himself. In Boston, Buehler, a 736 earned run average over his last 9 starts. He's been getting lit up, and I think that this is going to be a really high-scoring ball game in Boston this afternoon. So I like Ohtani going over this 9.5 on the fantasy score, and maybe even to go deep in this one here. So there you have it. Those are my picks for today. Remember, I like the over on Ezekiel Tovar, under on Tomoyuki Sugano fantasy points, over on Yuri Perez, strikeouts over on Noah Cameron, pitcher fantasy score versus the Guardians, and then over on Shohei Ohtani, 9.5 fantasy points versus the Boston Red Sox. So that is all that I have for you guys today. Do please remember to use promo code 5. That's going to be code FIVE for $50 in bonus funds on your prize picks here on your first lineup of $5 or more. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.